Hi there guys, Jamie K695 again. I'm going to do another little video on some of the buggy. I put another one up, which is one before this, which I did probably about a year or so ago. Literally after the first few days I had this, so the reason why it looks pretty brand spanking new and I've got hardly any idea on what I'm talking about. I did it more as a just to see what the quality of the camera like, which was pretty naff, as you can probably tell. I've got some other ones, and my friend just doing some really pathetic jumps to this T-Max, but they're such bad quality, especially with YouTube, when they hack through them. It's no point even putting them up because it'll just be a blur. It's bad enough just on the computer, let alone YouTube's had a little chunk taken out of it. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to do a video on servos and a few other little bits. Yeah, servos. I think most of you probably know what servos are. As you can see here, these are the two which I've had since stock. Well, this is the second set that I've had of them. This is the HS or Hi-Tech HS325HB and the Hi-Tech HS645MG. This I use for the steering because it's slightly more powerful, and this for the throttle. This is my second set because when I had that runaway accident, I forgot to say that because of the receiver battery pack when we're setting a light and melting, it went through the wires, so they didn't work properly. One of them didn't, so I decided just to completely replace them. But they're not cheap. Like this one is nearly £50 for just one servo. But servos are different. You can have hundreds of different brands, different sizes. Obviously these are the 1/10 like big, but for this scale you need really strong servos. So it's got to move a lot of power, and obviously when you're turning with going 30 miles an hour, it really needs to be strong so it can hold it there in case it just fold back. Yeah, now that's obviously a new servo, and that obviously gets plugged into the receiver, which I'll show in a minute if I have time left. I should do. But yeah, so that is obviously they've got servo wires. Those are the basic stock ones. Well, not stock ones. This is the kit. So basically, this is the Hyper 8. Hyper 8 is ready to run, and there's Hyper 8 8.5, which is what I've got, which is the Pro version, which comes with this like the top deck here is carbon fibre, a few other little bits which are slightly better made than the ready to run, which comes with the engine, the servos, everything to go basically apart from fuel, glow igniter, and a couple of other little things. Obviously the kit only comes with the chassis, the shocks, everything you see apart from minus the engine, the receiver stuff, the two servos basically. So you've got it's more expensive for just the kit than the ready to run, but then all the stuff in here is much more better quality. It's carbon fibre instead of plastic or metal. I'm not sure which. I haven't really seen the ready to run version. But anyway, back on the servos. So yeah, those are the ones that I had. They're relatively good, but they're quite old now in relation to some of the servos now. So I've actually upgraded a few days ago to these ones here, which I'll show you in a minute. Obviously they're the servos. But yeah, the comparison, for instance, the two in here are some fairly new brand Savox, as you can see here. Obviously come in a nice little box and tells you the dimensions and things like that in there. That's the Savox SC1258 and the SC1256. These two are quite considerably quicker than these. For instance, I think this is about 18 seconds and this speed-wise is about 9 or 10, which is quite quick. Plus it's a lot more torquey. It's got a lot more power. This thing, when I had the brakes set up perfect, I was still literally going from full pelt. It would take me at least a metre or a couple of metres to stop. With these ones, it literally, I can just slide basically. It's got so much power, which is obviously a good thing. So you can adjust it to if you want more braking or less braking in the bias and things like that. But this was pathetic for doing braking. I just could not brake or anything. I had to go around slowly around the corners. But yeah, these are new. They're quite expensive. This was 50, I think, or around that. These about 30, 20. This one came with obviously my transmitter, which I'll show you in another video. But these are about these are about 49 each, which is quite a bit, but they are very good. They're quite new company kind of thing, but some of the best UK drivers are using them now. So and some of the top drivers anyway using them, so it can't be bad. But yeah, now after using these, I've seen it's so much faster, so much stronger, and the braking is considerably better than what it was before. How long have we got? Okay. Yeah, so that's a little brief on the servos. I'll probably do another video on setting up your servos and things like that. I've tried to upload another video on like the shocks and stuff, but I can't seem to get that up, so hopefully I'll try and get these videos back up, and hope, well, if you see this then obviously I've got it done. But yeah, another thing, receiver pack. So obviously that's the servos, the basics of the servos. Receiver pack. The one that will come with your transmitter or your kit will be something like that, which is just 4 AA's basically. It's, as you can see, it's quite chunky, reasonably heavy. They don't last that long because obviously you've got to do quite a bit of power. And obviously to upgrade you would go for something like a rechargeable pack like here, which is 5 cell. This is a 1600, so this is quite big. I only bought this new and I've charged it in, and I've got a cheaper version which is 1200, so smaller, and that seemed to last longer, which is slightly depressing, considering it's a pretty decent make, Team Orion. But yeah, so this is rechargeable, so all you do is, if you're for instance going to use it tomorrow or have a race or practice or something, all you do is just chuck this on charge overnight, take it off in the morning, pop it in your car, plug in your receiver, and this should do you for about an hour maybe of use, or continuous usage, maybe a little less, just depends on how throttle happy and stuff you are. Obviously you can get bigger packs up to about 3000, even more, but then you do obviously becomes a little bit more pricey. But yeah, obviously the more power you have with these, the better, because it will stay for longer. But obviously with these better servos, because they're a lot stronger, they use a lot more power, which is the only downside. But I prefer to have a few more battery packs than having to struggle on the continuous braking and things like that. And obviously another thing which I'll show you is this glowing lighter, which is very similar to that. Copy. Yeah, which is very similar to the sense of this pack, in the sense that it's rechargeable. This is quite a small one. It's a 1800, which this basically I will show you now. I'll just take the glow plug out for you, so you can have a brief look at that quickly, and I'll show you what the glow plug's like, and a little bit dirty, but yeah. Okay, I'll do it. That is the top of the glow plug basically. You've got that then fits over there, which then heats up this, and then heats up this coil in there. Sorry about that in the background, my laptop's just on the and basically, yeah, so this is what basically happens inside the engine. This is probably going to be a bit dull because I've had it for quite a while now, but as you can see, it's not that great. One, because the glow charger is not very charged, but it should get it in there properly. Glow orange, but that's probably need to replace that, to be honest, because I've had that in quite a while. But yeah, no, it should glow a lot more orange than that, to be fair. Obviously got a new one here, so I'll just pop that in. But yes, yeah, so that's what it does, and that heats up that obviously in the engine, which then starts all the ignition and the combustion of the engine and that kind of thing. So let's pop it back in there, so don't need dust or things in there. So yeah, those are the other basic kind of things I'll do. Obviously, if I get good people liking the videos and stuff, I'll obviously do a lot more like my paintball ones. Hopefully I'll try to do something similar to that, in the sense of people can ask questions and stuff, and I'll do my best to ask them. But yeah, another few thing I'll just show you. Right, a couple more things to show you while I've still got time. Yeah, so that's the servos, the glow charger, the rechargeable battery pack. Obviously fuel bottle, this is quite a new one. Obviously nice and soft. For quick refills, obviously you have your fuel tank or your fuel container, which I'll show you in another video. And all you do is just squeeze it, put it in, just suck it back out basically. And that's obviously what a lot of people use. There's a thing like this, which is a fuel gun, which basically you fill it into there, and it's got a special valve system, so when you lift up the lid, hold it down, put the fuel in, as soon as the fuel hits back up here, it stops. So then you don't obviously overfill and get fuel everywhere in your buggy. If you're in a race in a quick fill, you just go boom, out, gone. Instead of, if anything with this, you can overfill it and stuff, and if you get fuel onto your brake pads, it's living hell. I'll just show you two test tyres. So I've got These are the Proline Crime Fighters, and I'll just try and show you the tread. Like them, these are reasonably good condition considering how long I've had them. Obviously it's got spoke wheels which aren't that great for racing. It's quite and these are some of the new ones which I use down my local track, which are the LRP Kamikaze, which are quite nice. These have been used for a few practices now, so they're slightly more on the worn side. Obviously with dish wheels, a bit softer. But yeah, that's another video for a while. Hopefully try and get some more done and try and get these on YouTube, as I seem to be struggling at the moment, but hopefully I'll be able to do